so good to see your faces. I know I could see them milling, but sitting at the back, looking at the back of your heads the whole day, it's like mostly what I know of you is the back of your heads. But I saw a little bit of you when I went over there, and I stood in front of the Post-it notes, and I read each one. And I also read a document that Kai and Josh shared with me, where you guys, a lot of you had sent in like what you wanted to get out of the event. And on the surface, there's lots of different things. Like very different things, and everybody's here for different things. And then when I read that, I started, there's a similar kind of theme as well. And then when I read this stuff, if you have some time, go over there and read and find out how much you're here for pretty much the same exact reason as everybody else. And what is that? If I had to boil it all down, it's like people are coming here to this lifestyle design convention. Yeah, because they want to design a lifestyle, but behind that, what is it? It's like there's something that you have inside of you that you know is possible. Something you could do in the world, somebody who you are that you're not expressing, somewhere you could go that's just not true right now. It's not true. You're not living that. And maybe your answer to that is like, well, if I just had more freedom, i.e. if I had more money, then I could go and do that thing. That would be great. Or maybe if I grew in this way and I was more skilled or more motivated, if I was really dedicated and committed, if I got over this thing, then I could do that. I could have that. I could be that. Maybe if I just knew the solution to this business strategy and knew how to do this, maybe I could do that. Maybe if I had an idea that I could monetize, then I could be me, be who I am. I could go out in the world and live that life. I could travel. I really want to travel. If I could just make a bunch of money, get a passive income website, then I could go and see the world and have all this freedom. Wouldn't that be great? But you see how it's all the same thing, right? Like there's about 100 people in this room if we count everybody, right? And all of us, including myself. There's who we're showing up as in the world, and there's who we actually are. And that gap, that distance between those two things, my work is about closing that. That's my work. Now, that used to show up as, in the beginning of my work, I was interested in magic as a hobby. I had a lot of friends that were magicians, quite nerdy, quite geeky, couldn't talk to girls. And so they would always ask me, John, like, how do you talk to girls like this? So I ended up getting into that world, asking, helping guys with that, and women as well. I worked in London for many years in dating. And in that sense, it was just like, just stop trying to get something. Just be you. Just be real. Be who you are. Close that gap. And then from doing that work, people would ask me, well, you live a really passionate life. Can you talk about that? So I started talking to people about creating a life they love, doing what they love to do. And it really was just a conversation about you closing that gap. Stop being something you're not. Stop being somebody you aren't. And I'll put it to you that all of you in here, including myself, at times, all of you are liars. You're showing up, living a life that deep down you know isn't true for you. And so the result that you get is a life that doesn't fulfill you. And it's appropriate. That's your punishment for not being you. And mine. Right? So you deserve it, actually. But we're here to close the gap. And now with my work, Josh had mentioned, I work with leaders. I found that in my coaching, when I do dialogue, I have conversations with people. That's what I do. And I found that the stuff that was most fun for me, it was places where I had leverage. My clients that ran small and medium-sized companies where they have 100, 150 employees, and we have a conversation, then it becomes a conversation in the organization, and that reverberates out into their clients and their customers, and I get to see more change. Not because it makes more of a difference necessarily, I just get to see it more, and that's fun for me. I've always liked leverage. I studied physics and math. I got into real estate, financial leverage. I had a web development company with clients in one country and developers in another. I was leveraging a team. I like that. That's fun for me. But it doesn't matter what I'm doing on the surface because I'm always doing the same thing. I'm helping to close that gap. And that is why I think we're all in this room today on some level to close the gap. That's why I'm here too, because every single time I get up on this stage, it's an opportunity for me to see the distance between who I actually am and what I'm saying. When I sit back there looking forward, there's a little game in my head. It's like, oh, what should I say this? Should I do that? It's like, whoa, the shoulds, the shoulds, right? Just like Morton was saying, the shoulds is bullshit. The shoulds is your ego taking you away from who you are. And so every opportunity for me to come up here is an opportunity for transformation, to grow a little bit, to close that gap. I want to just acknowledge a couple people because I meant to do it in the beginning and really... what I want to do with these 18, 13, and 14-second minutes left is just connect with you, right? My thing is I like to explore the world, explore things, and connect with people, connect with ideas, and then create something. And so I want to take this time right here just to connect. I'm going to talk at you, which is what I hate, actually. I hate public speaking. I like public dialogue. But with 18 minutes, such a short time, you guys don't know me, I'm going to speak at you with the hopes that we get to have more of a conversation for the right people, because I'm speaking at the same time of one of my favorite people in the world, John Cooper, and if what he resonates with you, I hope that you're with him. But if we do have more time together, then it's going to be more of a dialogue than it is like this. I'm not going to talk at you during that time, I'm going to talk with you. But for now, I want to acknowledge, first of all, Kai for creating this event. I had the opportunity to have a number of close conversations with Kai. And the reason I said yes to this event, because I don't do this anymore. I don't do how to live a passionate life anymore. I have hundreds of YouTube videos. I've done loads of talks on it. Now I'm focused on leadership. But the reason I said yes to Kai is because when I talked to him, I could feel his heart. I could feel this is a guy who's worked on closing the gap. And I could feel that he wanted to create this event because he genuinely, number one, primarily, he wanted to help people do that. And I know that you guys can feel that too. And what I saw with that, I was like, you know what, if I do this with this guy, then he's only going to be engaging with other speakers and other people that have come from that same place, and I'll enjoy that. So I made a decision to do it. And of course, the people that show up in this event are people that are resonating on that same level. That word's going to be used in every talk now, isn't it? Resonance. And so I said yes, and I came, and I'm so thankful that Kai created this. We had an agreement that he would fly me and my wife out here. We're not getting paid to do this, but just to be here. And I was living in London at the time. Then I ended up moving to America, and all of a sudden the price to fly us out was like quadrupled. So I said, you know what, I'll just come for a couple days. My wife will stay there. And so I'm here. And thank you so much for paying for me to be here, Kai. And I just want to apologize up front for having to leave tomorrow. But I'm here now, and I'm so happy, and I'm so lucky to be able to connect with you guys and to share some things. Josh, thank you for your attention, your attentiveness to your notebook with every speaker's like details. He's so focused, so concerned, so articulate, and so wanting to make this a great thing. I love that. I love that energy. Hanina, I got to speak with during the break, and just hearing her stories about how she learned to hug from Kai and bringing that into her family, and just there's so much heart there as well, and how she's been hugging with her sister when they didn't their whole lives, and it was beautiful. Having Kai's parents here, I mean, what love there's in the room. It's just a great, great place to be, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm sure you're sitting here wondering, why is he just sharing this stuff, right? I have no idea. I just know that I'm sitting back there and I wanted to say it, and so I'm saying it. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I know one thing. I know that stuff on the board is stuff that is the focus of my life. I know, this is my thing, this is how I'm changing the world. My mission is to, what the hell is my mission? I have it like, freaking perfectly written out. Oh yeah, I remember what my mission is, right. You can tell it's really important to me because I don't even know what it is. No, but I do know, I just couldn't think of the words. Putting the being back in human and the human back in humanity. What I really want to do is help people to close that gap, because the further apart that gap is, the less we're able to connect. I spent many years traveling, Josh said. And for me, connection and understanding is what's going to bring the world more together. I want to create a world peace, right? Like that great big thing. It's like, oh yeah, I want to create world peace here. It's a great idea. But I know, but is that really possible? I don't know if it's possible, but that's what I'm dedicated to living towards in my own little way, and I get to imagine how it happens. But the way that I'm doing is to close the gap, because the less you're being somebody you're not, and the more you're being who you are, the easier it is for you to connect with other human beings. And when you're more connected, the world's a better place. And so my mission to help you guys do this, there's a fire that's starting to kindle, that's starting to burn, right? And I'm just coming here to talk with you, to just blow a little bit of air on that so I can see it ignite. Because the more of you that are going out in the world being who you are, the more connected the world is. That's my mission, so I'm here for that. And now, all of you guys, lots of you guys wrote on that wall that you came here because you want to get inspired. I love that word, inspiration, inspired. But it struck me one day as I was doing yoga. I was in some pose doing yoga, and the teacher was like, all right, inhale and now outhale. And I was like, outhale? That's not really the right word. It's exhale. And I was thinking about inhale, outhale. Inspire is a word that I know comes from a root of that, from a Latin sense, is to breathe in spirit. To actually inspire means to breathe in spirit. And so when you're inspired, what that actually means is that you're breathing in spirit. Maybe you're seeing something, spirit is coming into you, and you're feeling it inside you. That feeling of inspiration is spirit, something out in the world resonating with you. And so you're inspired because something out there in the world made you feel something. So what does that actually mean? That actually means it's not like that thing has any, that tree's not inspiring, that person's not inspiring. It's that when I'm seeing that, I'm actually seeing me. I'm actually seeing me when I'm inspired. So actually, we've all come here to get inspired, but we've come here to see who we are. We've come here to see ourselves. The selves that we are today and that we're capable of being. that we're not being right now. And so if you're inspired by anybody, if you're admiring anybody this weekend, heads up, that's because you're seeing a bit of yourself that you're not showing up as in the world. You're seeing your potential. I'll give you an example. I used to see people on the gymnastics rings, like guys, and I'd be like, that's a weird clothes to wear. It's not that, I wasn't interested. I thought that's stupid. I didn't care. I didn't think it was stupid. Didn't matter to me, right? And that was when I was younger. And now when I do CrossFit and I like to work out and I love the gymnastics rings, and when I see guys doing it, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's beautiful. I wish I was gay. I would marry you. Like, that's incredible. It's amazing. Right? But because now that's become sort of part of who I am, is that there's a potential there. I have an interest in that. I'm oriented towards that. And so when I see that, I feel inspired because I'm seeing me. It's not about them. It's about me. And so I hope that you do come here and get inspired. And I hope that when you do, you remember that you're seeing who you are. You're seeing your potential. What else have you guys come here for? You've come here for freedom. What I'm doing right now is like little bits and pieces of overview of the way that I think about life so that we can dive deeper into this. You're going to have questions. You're going to be like, yeah, but in my situation, that's not true, John. And you're like going to want to put your hand up, and I want you to invite you to do that after, and I'll dive right in. I love the challenges because it helps us to have deeper insight, both of us, always. But the whole money-making thing, like here's what people always say to me. I get loads of emails, by the way, for how to live your passion, because I've got a YouTube video, how to find your passion. If you search for it, it comes up high in the search results on YouTube. It's got over 130,000 views, and that's really freaking phenomenal because it's not that good of a video. It just means that lots of people are searching for it. 250,000 people every month search in Google, how do I find my passion? 250,000. That's a lot. So we're not alone. We're just a small piece of a huge thing that's happening right now in the world. But where the hell was I going? Sidetracked. What was I just talking about? What? Money. Freedom. Right. Okay, here's what people always email me. That's what I said. People always email me saying this, but I didn't tell you what they said. They say, you know what I really want? I want to make a bunch of money, and then, I want to make a bunch of money so I can have freedom to do what I want to do, and then when I've done all that stuff, then I want to go out and I want to help people and make a difference in the world. I'm like, that's great. It's a great list of things that you want. That's basically what everybody wants, like money to have the freedom to do what you want to do, and one day doing that, then you'll help people. It's a great list of things you want, but it always strikes me that it's a freaking strategy in reverse. If you just took all those things that you want in the order that you want them, and you started at the end, and you were like, I'm just going to help people and make a difference in the world. That's just what I'm going to do. And how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. This is a big thing for me. Some of the guys talked about not saying no to certain things. I'm a big exclude everything that I don't want, just focus on what I do want. Because I believe that when you're showing up in the way that you most purely want to express yourself, that's you giving your greatest gift. You are your greatest gift to the world. You self-express in your truest essence is the greatest gift to the world. And so when I say I only coach 9 days a month from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time, that's what I do. I only coach that time. This is the way I coach. I coach by Skype. Your first time you meet with me as a private client, you have to fly out and spend the day with me. This is what I do and how I do it. I don't do it anywhere else. My way or the highway, right? Like that, like a Frank Sinatra song. And because I show up that way, it's more of a gift because I'm saying this is who I am, this is what I do. That serves. I want to help people. I do it the way that I most want to do it. And then the money shows up. And this is a cool thing. The more I focus on helping people and the more I commit to doing only the things that I want to do and only the way that I want to do it, the more I become a unique asset in the world. A unique asset in the world. And the more money shows up. So the whole thing that you guys want, if that's what you want, it's start at the end and work it backwards. I just summarized everything in like less than the time. I still got 4 more minutes, so where am I going to go now? Any questions right off the bat? Let's just dive right in. Any questions? Any thoughts? Here's a problem. I know that people in this audience have some. Did you raise your hand? Yes. Awesome. Okay. So you didn't have, so I'm going to go to you, but I just want to say this too. I know that some of you in the audience have the question. Part of you closing that gap is when you know that you have a question, it's going, boop, I'm going to lean into that a little bit. I'm just going to express myself a little bit. I'm going to stick my head above the parapet and be like, yes, I do have a question. Every single time you do that, you close the gap more and more. Close the gap, close the gap, close the gap. Next time I ask, everybody's hands is going up, I hope. If you actually have a question. You don't have to fake it. You did have a question, please.
So let's say somebody at this convention wants to have a kind of freedom-based business that they can implement right away? And what are a couple of steps they could use? They found their passion. They want to make some money off of it. What's the first two things they should do?
So they know what their passion is, and they want to make some money off it.
They know what resonates, to use that word again,
Yeah.
themselves.
Best word of the day.
But now they're ready to.
What's the first two steps? I know what it is. I'm ready to do it. What's step one?
Personal training, so what do they do?
Good question. So I have a little video that said build your business backwards, or how to build a business backwards. And it's like, what's the first step to build my business system so that I could access the clients and the people and attract everything and accept all this stuff and my business cards and my website, all this stuff. And I'm like, so that I can have everything ready so that I can provide this, so people will pay me money so that I could then provide this service. I had a woman come to one of my talks that said she's gone on a massage therapy qualification course. She knows how to do this, to do that. She's got the room set up. She's got everything she needs to massage, but she just can't get any clients. I said, well, how many people have you massaged the past couple months? None. You see where I'm going with this? So it's a kind of freaking crazy maverick idea, but this is my approach. And it's not the only approach. I put my hands up and say, hey, you can go for the funding and the angel investment thing, and you can be the strategy guy and plan it out. You can do that too. This is my way. That's all I'm here to share. And I'm here to share it with you. And if it resonates with you, then great. If you're inspired, great. It's not because it's right. It's because it's true for you. Here's my maverick idea. Start with the fucking service. Sorry, my language. I know there's elders in the room. I wanted to really watch my language. I apologize. My mom's on top of me about that, but I'm like, there's a point at which language, if I'm stifling it too much, I can't close the gap, so I'm working on that. But anyway, start at the end. Do the thing. Do the thing you want to do. If it's a service, just do it. Do it every day. Do it to the point where I need a structure, a system to account for this. Do it to the point where people are trying to give you money, like, well, I guess I need a bank account or a PayPal. Just do the thing. If it's a product, make one and give it to somebody. You mean I'm going to give my prototype away? Yeah, do it. Do it over and over and over and over again. Business is something that happens when you serve. I'm going to stop early. I've got 30 seconds left. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to take questions in the next section if you come back and join me. But what I would like is to just walk off the stage and just to have 30 seconds of you guys just sitting with these ideas, checking in with yourself about where the gap is. How much distance is there between who you are and who you're being? Silence. Thanks.